Hey guys, Scary Stories here. I hope you're doing well. Tonight, I have an interesting article to share with you. This one's all about something you might be a little familiar with. Clowns. Not the fun, make you laugh kind of clowns, though. I want to talk about the ones that drink beer out in the woods, stand on the side of the road, and just generally scare old ladies in their spare time. Yeah, those 2016 kind of clowns. There's some pretty terrifying reports about people dressed up as clowns all over cities in America that go back to at least 1981. But before we get into it, in case you're new to the channel, I post videos every Thursday and Sunday and try to sprinkle in shorts throughout the rest of the week. I like to look through the archives of the internet to find old websites, forum posts, and news articles from the late 90s and early 2000s to share here. So, if you enjoy all things creepy, strange, or just slightly unsettling, maybe consider hitting that little red button down below. It really helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. I love this little community we have going on and I'd love to see it keep going. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy. Oh, and I'm just recording this part after I finished recording the video. And this part's kind of for YouTube, but I did just want to make this explicitly clear that this video deals with some slightly intense topics and is being made for educational purposes only. Do not ever go into a van with a creepy clown trying to lure you in. Do not accept cash from clowns. Do not accept candy from clowns. If you do not know the person behind the mask, do not talk to them. And if you see a clown loitering around an elementary school, contact your local authorities. Viewer discretion is advised. So this original article was written back in 2016 by somebody going by Songbird. It's titled, "Please Don't Send in the Clowns." The fear of clowns is called coulrophobia, and if you don't have it, you might by the time you finish this video. In recent weeks, some not so funny stories involving clowns have featured prominently in the news here in the Southeast. In Greensville, South Carolina, there's been several reports of men dressed in clown costumes and full makeup allegedly trying to lure kids into the woods with candy and cash. The sightings initially happened at apartment complexes and other areas in Greensville and Spartanburg counties. The first incident happened in mid-August when a woman told police her son had seen several clowns in the woods with lasers, whispering and making strange noises at him. The woman said later that she personally witnessed 3 clowns in the woods, flashing green laser lights. As she went to go accost them, they ran into the woods. Another woman reported encountering a clown with a blinking nose leaning up against a light post near a dumpster. He waved at her, and she waved back and kept on walking. The reports continued to pour in of clowns lurking near basketball courts, loitering under streetlights, and rattling chains and knocking on people's doors in the middle of the night. Just today, there was reports of a mysterious clown trying to lure kids into the woods with treats in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The kids described him as having red, bushy hair, a red nose, a white face, and wearing white overalls, white gloves, and red shoes. The clown encounter happened at about 8:30 p.m. Sunday, August 4th. It was reportedly seen by 2 children and was heard but not seen by an adult. The creepy clown then fled just as police arrived. About 4 hours later, another call came into the Winston-Salem Police Department about a clown sighting just 2 miles away. Clowns have always seemed rather creepy to me. I could never understand why some kids seemed so drawn to them. I never wanted a clown doll when I was a child. There's no clown figurines in my house today, and I wouldn't even let a painting of a clown so much as in my doorway, much less hang on my wall. My apprehensive feelings towards clowns may have some basis in the fact that menacing clowns have actually been appearing throughout many decades. And no, I'm not talking about John Wayne Gacy. It all might seem like a scene out of Stephen King's It, but the next series of events happened several years before the book was even published in 1986. In late April 1981, reports began coming into Boston, Massachusetts Police Department that men dressed like clowns were bothering children as they walked to and from school. The police quickly issued a memo out to elementary and middle school principals, urging them to warn children to be extra cautious and avoid contact with all strangers, especially costumed ones. Then, on May 5th, 1981, in the town of Brooklyn, Massachusetts, police received a call that two men dressed as clowns tried to lure children into their van with candy near an elementary school. The next day in Boston, complaints started coming in again and again of men in clown suits accosting children. One of the men was said to be dressed as a clown from the waist up and naked from the waist down. He was first sighted in the location of a park and later near an elementary school. By May 8th, 1981, numerous reports of menacing clowns had been received in Boston and several nearby towns. Apparently, there had been no physical attacks, but parents and kids were understandably alarmed. Police detained several local clowns delivering flowers and candygrams, but there was no suspects and no arrests were ever made. The clown sightings in Boston finally came to a halt as quickly as they started, but the madness was far from over. 50 miles away in Providence, Rhode Island, several sinister clown sightings were reported. Then, over 1,000 miles away in Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, numerous frantic reports of a knife-wielding clown driving a yellow van started coming into the police department. The clown had reportedly tried to threaten children and force them into his van near 6 area elementary schools. One of the kids said the clown was wielding a sword instead of a knife, though. Police were out in force trying to nab the culprit, but were never able to make an arrest. Again, parents and kids alike were terrified, and some parents even kept their children out of school for several days. The madness seemed to be spreading, evolving. In Pennsylvania, not only were menacing clowns being reported, but somebody dressed in a rabbit suit was spotted as well. In fact, if that wasn't weird enough, 3 men dressed as Spider-Man, a gorilla, and a clown tried to lure a little boy into their van. No arrests were ever made in any of these instances, but the witnesses insisted that the costumed fiends they had seen were real. Back to a little bit more recent times. In October 2014, in Bakersfield, California, there were several reports of people dressed as clowns roaming the streets at night. One of these clowns was said to be carrying a firearm. And then in the summer of 2015, what might have been a clown ghost was spotted in Ravenswood Cemetery in Chicago, Illinois. According to a couple driving by, the mysterious clown waited by the gate until it was fully illuminated by the car's headlights, then nimbly climbed the 7-foot fence and disappeared into the darkness. There's been no further reports of this clown being sighted. Mysterious clown sightings are not confined to the US alone, though. In 2013, in Northampton, UK, several sightings of mysterious clowns roaming the streets at night were reported. At first, the clowns seemed harmless enough, although they were creepy. The sightings escalated to clowns chasing children as they walked home from school, sightings of clowns armed with knives and clubs, and sightings of clowns vandalizing buildings. In the fall of 2015, teenagers in France dressed as clowns chased passerbys with knives, baseball bats, and even chainsaws. At least one man was seriously injured in fending off a clown attack. Local residents then formed bands of vigilante clown hunters to go after these perpetrators and put an end to the madness. But back to the US. Early August 2016, Green Bay, Wisconsin. An especially creepy looking clown was spotted wandering the city in the early hours of the morning. The clown was holding a handful of black or very dark colored balloons. Police said that they received several phone calls about the mysterious clown, who was dubbed Gags by the media, but could not charge him with anything since he hadn't broken any laws. It seems suspicious that these latest clown sightings in the Carolinas and Green Bay, Wisconsin closely coincide with the release of the new movie Stephen King's It. However, would somebody really risk getting arrested and maybe even physical harm just to promote a movie? I don't think so. So are these events a series of attempts by perverts to lure children? Are they pranks or tales told as a joke? Are they mass hysteria, kids' imaginations? Or could this actually be something more sinister? Mass sightings of strange events have happened throughout the ages, including sightings of UFOs, aliens, monsters, lizard men, and even such high strangeness as Spring-Heeled Jack and the Mad Gasser of Mattoon. Some believe these could be linked to spiritual beings, entities that have enjoyed playing pranks on humankind down through the ages. Whatever the explanation is, I for one suspect the clown sightings are not yet over with, and when they stop, they'll leave behind no evidence and just a whole lot of unanswered questions. So, how do you feel about that one? Do you have coulrophobia yet? And I think that's what the article said the phobia of clowns is. Have you ever been chased by a clown? Or have you ever seen them when they were at their height back in 2016? I see all those videos on YouTube. People in their cars, and it's late at night, and clowns come off the side of the road from the woods or something like that. And then they just start running at the person's car. I always thought that was kind of silly, because you don't know how somebody's going to react. They could panic and just run you over. And, you know, it's a prank, right? So you probably don't want to seriously hurt yourself. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you very much. Your time is precious, and the fact that you spent 15 minutes of it listening to me talk about clowns is really cool. So thank you very much. And with that said, I'll cut it there for now. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.